So as we've been reporting, the Israeli military appears to be withdrawing its troops to agreed areas in Gaza. For now, Israeli forces control all areas up to the blue line that you can see on the screen. Once the war is ended, under the U.S. 20-point plan, then Israeli forces are to withdraw to this line in yellow to prepare for the release of Israeli captives. Then, after all the plan's requirements have been met and an international stabilization force deployed, Israeli forces are to move further back to the red line. Next, the Israeli military is to progressively move towards the border with Israel, according to an agreement to be made with a transitional authority. Israeli forces would then continue to maintain a security buffer zone inside Gaza's borders, including its crossing with Egypt. Let's bring in Yossi Belin, who's a former Israeli justice minister and former deputy minister of foreign affairs. You also helped initiate the Oslo peace process in the early 90s. You're joining us from Tel Aviv this hour. So thanks for your time. Is this going to stick?
Thank you for having me.
Netanyahu did break the last ceasefire and captives release deal. Is he going to stick to this one this time around, or are things different because President Trump seems to want this to go ahead?
Well, I think that the latter option is the more realistic one. I don't think that Netanyahu is signing such an agreement in order to breach it. I think that he will do whatever he can in order to work hand in hand with President Trump. And I don't see a breaching of such an agreement realistic unless there is, something which is a trigger that everybody agrees cannot be ignored.
Hamas did say that they got guarantees from the U.S. and mediators that this is permanent and this is an end to the war. How can the U.S. or anyone else guarantee that?
Well, I think that guarantees are a serious tool. It is not always easy to implement them, but the fact that they exist is, in most of the cases, having an impact on the daily reality. So such guarantees, which were, by the way, asked by the Palestinians for many, many years, that any peace treaty, if we have a peace treaty and we don't, will be accompanied by international guarantees. So here you have international guarantees, and it is very important to assure that there will be no need to implement them.
The U.S., as we're saying, heavily involved. We understand that Trump is planning to go to Israel. What's he going to do? And why is he going?
Don't ask me.
Is he going to take credit, perhaps, for the ceasefire? Is he going to pressure Netanyahu? What are your thoughts?
No, you need somebody much wiser than myself. I'm sorry.
All right, then.
I can tell you one thing. I'm happy that he did it. I'm happy that he put pressure. I'm happy that he's behind this agreement and that he takes to himself all the successes in the world, all the good things in the world happen because of him. He's happy with this. I'm happy with it because I want to see the hostages released, and I will see that on Monday.
Look, but many people that we speak to, tell me if you agree with this or not, say that the second part of the ceasefire deal and going forward, in fact, after a few days' time, is going to be contentious because the plan is vague and there are no details about how to implement certain parts of the plan. So how challenging are those discussions and negotiations going to be?
Very much so. I can agree with the feeling that there is no clear corridor between the first part and the second part. And if we want to get to the second part about the international forces which will be in Gaza and the talks towards a Palestinian statehood, as it is written in this agreement, then we should be very careful and work for it. It won't happen by itself. And here, President Trump will have a very important role. He is very careful to call it a Trump plan. So the Trump plan may be in danger after the first phase.
What about domestic Israeli politics and how the right-wing coalition of Netanyahu is going to deal with this going forward?
You see what is happening. What is happening is that they see that there is a huge support for the agreement in the public opinion. We know it even before the agreement that there were about 70% supporting the end of the war. And in order to free the hostages. And it goes for months and months and months. So they are really against the Israeli public opinion very, very clearly. And they say so. I mean, there was a leak, there were leaks from the cabinet meeting that they are saying we hate to be the bad guys, but they are the bad guys. So I don't think that the Netanyahu's government will fall, although I will not be sad if it happens.
What are the most contentious issues, do you think, for them going forward?
Well, the mere fact that so many Palestinian prisoners were released, are released. They say that they said before that they will not accept it. So they don't accept it, but they are a small minority in the public opinion and even in the cabinet. And the fact that they voted against the agreement, against the plan, will do nothing to the plan itself. People look at them and say to themselves, how come? How can we have such ministers at all? But this is the situation. This is the picture of of this government. The most hawkish and rightist ever. And for me personally, if you ask me, the fact that this government agreed to a plan which refers to the Palestinian Authority after what Netanyahu said about it, that he doesn't want neither Hamas nor Abbas, but he is getting Abbas, and about Palestinian statehood, which is something that he rejected all out, has rejected since, I think, something like 6 years or 7 years, because beforehand, as you may remember, he went to the UN Assembly General and supported wholeheartedly the two-state solution, but he changed his heart. So today, he had to support such a sentence, and I hope that it is not only words.
Does this then signal to you that he basically had no choice? He was in a corner and some people say, look, he wasn't able to achieve any of his military objectives in Gaza, and that's what got him to this point.
I don't know exactly what pushed him to that. Maybe it was Trump himself who was quite tough on him. And, you know, he waited so much for the election of Trump and said to everybody, Trump is my best friend, and so on and so forth. And and the world today is very critical on Israel. And he remained one of the few friends that that Israel has, even in such a situation. So if he is doing something against the wish of Trump, he will remain alone. I think that this is the main reason why eventually he agreed to things that just few weeks or months ago he opposed totally.
Okay, Yossi Belin, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us from Tel Aviv this hour.
Don't miss out and get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.